Hi everyone, this is Monday the 8th of February and today we are learning to continue writing our independent advice letter. So as with every other writing lesson, we're going to start off with some editing, so please copy the sentences that are currently on your screen and make the necessary corrections. In my opinion, I think you're going to love my first suggestion. When your owner goes to get your food, you must whimper sadly, really sadly. Pause the video here whilst you complete that and press play once you're ready to see how you got on. Okay, so let's see how we did. So in my opinion is a fronted adverbial, so we need a comma here. In my opinion, I think you are, so this is the incorrect version. We want you apostrophe R-E. You're going to love my first suggestion. We have a comma splice here, so we need to get rid of that and use a full stop. You're going to love my first suggestion. I think I'm quite happy with that sentence now. Therefore, we now need a capital W, and we are also missing an H out of when. When your owner goes, this is also being spelled incorrectly, so G-O-E-S. When your owner goes to get your food, because we have a subordinating conjunction, oh sorry, it didn't mean to do that, pen slipped, we need to put a comma here because we have a subordinate clause now. When your owner goes to get your food, you must whimper sadly, really sadly. Now, if I was to remove this parenthesis here, or this word, I would have sadly repeated twice. So that is an incorrect use of parenthesis. So if I want to exaggerate and emphasize the really sadly part, I don't want to use the bracket here. I want to use it after this sadly and then my full stop at the end. So a few things to edit there. If you didn't quite get all of them, then please pause the video here and catch up with that. But if you are ready, then let's continue watching. So today you're going to plan what your 3 potential solutions are going to be, plot them and plot out, and then plan one paragraph, and then you're going to write up that one paragraph. So even though you're going to decide what your 3 solutions are going to be, you are only writing one paragraph today, the first solution. So please make sure you do watch this video carefully so you don't do too much work today. It's just one paragraph today, okay? You're choosing the 3, but you're just writing the first one up. So we're going to plan out in just a moment the 3 solutions that will match our problem. So think carefully back to the problem that you selected in the previous lesson. You might even want to reread the letter just to familiarise yourself, and they are still attached to Friday's home learning document. So we need to think about solution 1 being quite a simple solution with not too many negative consequences. Solution 2, which is less risky, slightly more risky. And solution 3, the riskiest and most extreme option. So we're going to think about getting some ideas together for those so we know how we're going to build up the solutions and the pace and the extremity of them as the paragraphs progress. So just another recap before we start writing as well. Features of an advice letter. So I want to make sure that we are using parentheses to add extra information. We want rhetorical questions, and in fact rhetorical questions were used as the justification in the green section for the first solution paragraph last time, if that makes sense. So it would be nice to use them again. As always, modal verbs, they feature in all of them. Perhaps a range of tenses, devices for cohesion. We don't just want blocky sentences just shoved together. We want to actually have them flowing on. And to do that, we want to think about using some complex sentences and also compound sentences for variety. So you can pause the video here when you just have a scan over these features. Really, these are all quite important, but they are also ones you are using consistently, probably without even really thinking about it too much. Informal language, though, is really key. Really important as part of this genre as well. So what I'd like you to do here, I'm going to show you what the supporting document looks like for this lesson in just a moment, but you might also want to get a piece of paper right now and a pen, something to write with, and then we can continue with our lesson. So this is the planning sheet I've created for you. It is available on your home learning page. So it can look a bit confusing at first, but we will go through it together, and there is no expectation that you need to print this out in order to complete the lesson. I don't have a printer at home, so I'm not going to be using this printed out version. We want to plan out our solutions, so you can see how I've just made a little box for that. marking which how you'd separate them, then your plan, then there's an editing checklist that you can refer to, and then there is a list of vocabulary that was available last time as well for the equivalent paragraph. So thinking about our solutions, then we want solution 1 to be the easiest one for the for our animal who we're writing to act out, and then solution 3 is the riskiest and the most extreme. So as I've said, I'm not printing mine out today. I've got my piece of paper already organised here. So you can see that I've got my written plan, my subheading, just so I know to keep things separate, and then I've got my list of solutions here. And I'm simply just going to number them, just so I can keep track of them. And you might change your mind tomorrow, or, you know, for your following solutions, but it's just nice to get something down, and then at least you can play with the ideas a bit more, and you're not going to risk forgetting them. So my first solution is going to be that I want Buddy. I'm aware that it was pointed out to me last week that I called the bird Buddy and also the dog I'm writing to, but they are separate. But I want my dog to look sad and make sad noises as my first one. That's my first solution. And then building on from that, really, so we could have begging for food. I want to build it something a bit more, maybe destroying the bag or something like that, maybe refusing to eat the food. So I might put a couple of things down. I'm not going to go with both of them. Sorry, I'll change the tense. Refuse to eat. And then hopefully the owner will then give in, and that'll be the consequence of that one. And solution 3, we want it to be a bit more extreme. I might have that Buddy should steal food from the owner, which would result in, I think, quite a cross owner. If imagine if your dog stole all of your dinner. So I've planned out my solutions, and that's all you should do at this point. So you could pause the video here while you just jot down the 3 solutions that you think you want to go with for the rest of the week, and then press play once you're ready to continue with the lesson, and then we can actually plan out the paragraph. Okay, great job. So you can see on the home learning planning sheet here, I've just got my steps, and I have written them out on my piece of paper. So you don't need to use the lines that are on that page. You can just use line paper here. So really just want it to be short and snappy, thinking about how we can get across our solution to make it sound reliable, and like we are able to help Buddy. So now thinking about how we can actually plot this in. So my solution, I just simply copy from the top there. So I want to have Buddy cry and whimper. And then the explanation, so why that will work. So thinking about if I want him to cry and whimper, then your owner will feel guilty. And maybe thinking ahead about what the outcome might be instead, and they might serve tastier food. Sorry, should have given myself a bit more room there. Okay, and then our justification. So there are a range of justifications you can use. So if I just flick back to the support sheet here, and you can see that I've got rhetorical questions. We used that last time, so I might want to use a rhetorical question this time as well. Statistics, first-hand experience, or testimonials. So there are 4 options and only 3 solutions, so just choose which ones you think would work best. So if I go back to my writing, I've had a quick look at that. So I think I might want a rhetorical question, something like, no one wants to make the dog feel sad, do they? Okay, and then you can see I've pretty much got the bare bones of this paragraph. I don't know why that's blurry on the side. There we go. And that's my plan. So I've plotted out 3 paragraphs worth of solutions here, and I've got my really short plan and my steps that I am going to stick to. So it's really important that we do follow this structure as well. You might want to shuffle them around a little bit, but really we want to make sure that we do have a solution. We explain why that's a good solution, and then we justify it. So I'm actually going to have another subheading now of paragraph, And then I want to get started. So I noticed a couple of you are using coloured pens now to help you match the steps, which is fantastic to see. Don't worry if you don't have them, you might find that helpful, and then just make sure we refer back to these steps here. So I want to have a cohesive paragraph, so I want to have an opener. So if you're not sure of what to start with, you can always go back to your vocabulary as so, and we can see the first thing you should try is, if I were you, I would try, and so on. So what other openers do you think you can think of just to push yourself in that way? So I'm going to go with to start with, because this is the first solution. It makes sense to have to start with and then comma, or to start off could work nicely there. You should, so medium modality, fairly firm but not overly bossy. You should, and I'm just going to take from here, whimper and cry. Whimper and cry, and then we want to be specific, because if I just said whimper and cry, that could mean at any time, but I want to be specific. I'm going to use when, as could work quite well there. When your owner brings you your food, comes to serve the food. Owner serves your food. Obviously this information isn't too relevant to you, but the openers and so on are, as you're doing a different problem. So just make sure it does link back to the problem that you've chosen to solve. And then, so to start off with, you should whimper and cry when your owner serves your food. I want to give a little bit more information around this. I can use some parentheses to exaggerate, so I'm not going to move on to the blue yet. So in order for this to work, then a comma. So I just want to embellish this a little bit more now. So you've got to sound really upset. And then thinking about how else a dog can seem and look upset, obviously the really sad puppy dog eyes that dogs give you when they want something. So I might want to use that in parenthesis as well. Looking up. Now, would I use your owner or a pronoun here? What do you think? So I've said to start off with, you should whimper and cry when your owner brings you your food. In order for this to work, you've got to sound really upset. Looking up at, I would go with them. We don't want to repeat owner too many times. Looking up at them with big sad eyes. Will help, or helps to, is really effective. Let's go for helps to. Let's see, yeah, helps to. Exclamation mark. And then we do have a full stop on the end because our sentence are without the parenthesis needs punctuation. I really hope I get to fit it all on. Let's see if I can just move this out slightly for you just to see a bit more. I don't know if that did anything. Tiny bit. Right, let's move down. So we've done our solution. I can move that out of the way. So now we're on to the explanation, our blue section. So just want to explain why this would work. Now in my plan I've said that the owner will feel guilty and I might give them tastier food, and that's essentially what I want to write here. So I know I've got two openers. I might want to use another. I might want to use if. So if you do this well, if you do this effectively. Again, let's take a look at our openers from last time. So we've got your owner will soon realise. You don't even have to use an opener here. It should shock them into realising what they've done wrong. They should soon understand how you feel. May take a few attempts to work. So anything like that would work really well. So I'm going to go with another opener because I'm going for a lot of complex sentences today. If you do this well, do it effectively. If you do this well, comma, don't forget that comma. If you do this well, they, and then just taking from my plan here, I've already got the vocabulary guilty, they will feel so guilty that, and then we want to explain what they're going to do. So I said give a tastier food. They will feel so guilty that they are serving you that inedible slop bland or tasteless food would work well there. Inedible slop, I am going to run out of room here, so I have to go on a new page. Slop that they, and it's still okay to use they and them because I'm still referring to the owner, so that's cohesion. They will immediately serve up something far more, I have to go on the next page now. Far more what? What adjective do you think I could use there when I'm turning my page? What do you think? Far more what? Delicious, tasty, scrumptious, fitting of a well-loved dog. Any of those would work well there, wouldn't they? Far more tasty. Let's go for tasty. Far more tasty. Might want to use some parentheses here as well. Maybe give an example of the food that they could be served, or what the owner might do as well as that, or something. Maybe how often to try would work quite well there. Let's think what a dog would like to eat. I know that my dog likes sweet chicken, so maybe she loves fish actually. Let's go with chicken. Maybe even some roasted chicken. If you're lucky. So, exclamation mark again. And then I could add a bit more detail in here. Soon your worries will be over. Soon your bland and tasteless meals will be a thing of the past. Soon you will get used to having this food regularly. So let's have a think about, let's go for soon your bland and tasteless meals will be a thing of the past. So if you are feeling confident with this genre and you are enjoying it, then take the opportunity to write a little bit more within each step. Really, you can adjust it to, if you need to work on having coherence and it being short and simple and getting the basics really accurate, then that is absolutely fine. But if you are confident and you do feel like you can punctuate really accurately, then push yourself with the vocabulary and the sentence types and really get into the genre of it and have fun with it. Now, the writing should be enjoyable, and this genre is a really lovely one that you can really get into and enjoy that informality. Thing of the past. So I know that's quite a long step that I've just had, but again, it just adds so much more to the genre. And then now finally we've gone on to our green section, which was our justification. So if I actually might want to check this back again, so if I just turn my page, I can see no one wants to make their dog feel sad, do they? So I'm going to stick with that. Pretty much word for word, I think would work quite well there. So yeah, let's go with that. No owner would be happy with themselves if they made their beloved pet feel so upset, would they? Which I'll question. Might actually put an adjective in here, no decent or no caring owner perhaps. No decent owner would be happy themselves, oh dear, would be happy with themselves if they made their beloved pet feel so upset, would they? And you can see I had a missing word here. I've added one in here because just to add a bit more detail. And that's essentially it. So we've done quite a lot. We've planned out 3 solutions. I planned out my paragraph and then I wrote my paragraph. So it's over to you now. Please make sure that you are taking a look at this, your sheet, to help you with any of the structure, especially the vocabulary. again, because this would be available to you in the classroom if we were in school. So have fun with it. Really looking forward to seeing how we get on with that and the variety of different solutions that we're going to be solving. So have a lovely day, everyone. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.